All right, here we go. So, getting real about goal setting, episode 2 of the Take 5 Transformational Talk series. So, what is your attitude toward goal setting really? The phrase goal setting is has been so glorified in our culture that how dare we confess that maybe we might experience negative associations or negative energy with goal setting. So now you can lie if you want to, but I know that I'm not the only one who's experienced this energy around goal setting, at some point. But it's taboo to admit it. So, because we're supposed to be excited about goals and driven and motivated, right? But if you're ready to get real with self and say, yeah, I don't always feel so great about setting goals, especially when it comes to the big and challenging and scary ones that are attached to the things that I say that I really want, then let's explore some ideas of why this is happening. So, first, where do goals really come from? A bit later, we are going to touch on the question of whether your goals are coming from your true self or someone or something else. And if you stick with me to the end of this, I actually have a homework assignment for you that I've given to clients that will help you uncover, discovering where goals came from and what it is that you truly want out of achieving these goals. And it's not going to work as well if you just skip to the end of it, just because you're going to lose a lot of the context that we're about to talk about here. But the most important thing that I want to talk about in today's section is the focus on attaining the goal itself versus attaining the state of being perceived to come with the goal. So what that means is, for example, if we have a goal title that we want to reach, so maybe it's a PhD, maybe it's a CEO, the owner of some business or service, there is a title. And in most cases, the reason why we are going after that title is because we have an association of what it means to receive that title. So often it's money and financial freedom, financial stability, time freedom, recognition. It's, a level of comfort, maybe being able to travel, take care of your family, which all actually give way to a certain state of being that having these things will all create, right? So the question here, I'm going to do a little bit of word flip, is does the end justify the means? And what that means is that once you actually achieve that end goal or that end title, um, does the way that you got there make up or match up with how you actually feel once you get it? So, example, a little bit extreme, but I think that you'll get it just fine. Say your dream is to own a Ferrari and you want to buy a Ferrari for yourself, and you're working hard and you're grinding, and this is what you're doing to try to get this goal of having a Ferrari. And then somebody that's very close to you passes away, and unfortunately, however, they leave you an inheritance that allows you to purchase this Ferrari amongst, taking care of the other things that you would like to in your life that require your finances. How does that feel, though? How does it feel that the means by which you were to acquire this Ferrari meant that someone close to you had to die? And is it worth it? And not saying that you had any control over it, but just think about that feeling. Think about what that Ferrari represents to you in that scenario versus you are in a career that's inside of your passion and your purpose and you're feeling great, and that energy and those successes all turn into the financial ability for you to purchase this Ferrari from your purpose and your passion. Feels different, right? And that example is extreme, but I will give you a personal example that goes a little bit more into, I think it's more realistic or not realistic, but more common for people to experience. So many of you know that a couple of years ago, I was inside of Herbalife as like it was like my main career focus. Like I'm definitely still, into it now, but building an Herbalife business was the tunnel vision main career goal, and that was it. Like that was the end all be all. And this title, President's Team, is like it's like a culture that this is like the goal. So red flag number one is that if you're in a position where the goal is like a group think kind of way, it's just like you really, really have to assess, where this goal is coming from, who's setting it, because there are going to be people. Yes, the people that reach this level and are going after this level, the way that they get to this level is perfectly in alignment with who they are and their true self. So when they get there, they are the creators of this prototype of what this position, President's Team, represents. So what's that's commonly representing is, you're making well over six figures. You have the opportunity to set up a lifestyle anywhere from like financially free and comfortable to extravagant. It usually means that you've helped thousands of people directly and indirectly achieve, you're doing this through nutrition and fitness and community, and they've achieved these goals, and you've also helped numerous people to achieve, financial transformation in their own life. So you've created a big impact. So these are the things: there's money, there's this sense of community and happiness, there's health, and there's creating a big impact. And these are the things that are associated with a state of being, right? This is the state of being. So with me, what happened is that I knew that I am going after this particular state of being. So like that was my drive towards this title of President's Team. However, what we also have to understand is on the flip side that if you are going after a goal that is either not, quite aligned with who you are as a person, or the means that you are using in order to go after this goal is not aligned with your true self, then that end, when you actually do get that title, if you do, what does it actually mean? Like, for example, you can receive a President's Team title, but at some point not be receiving the President's Team check, right? So you have the title, but you don't really have that money. It could be a number of things that have happened. It can be, how you built your business may not have been sustainable. It could be, maybe you invested so much in your business that your return on investment once you got to that position, you're still playing catch up, maybe even more so than you were when you went in. And then there's the people who just either fail or quit. And I won't say that I failed or quit. I would say that I redirected, and that's my reframe, because I'm not thinking of my journey in terms of failure. I'm thinking that Herbalife was this necessary thing that I was doing in order to actually get me to the next level, like no doubt. However, as I was getting further in and going to this position, I realized that I had so much resistance around going for this position because I wasn't quite aligned with what I truly, truly wanted to do and be, even though I was aligned with the feeling that I wanted to have. And so I redirected because I had this realization of like, hey, this is just a title. And when I'm looking at titles, is President's Team the only means by which I can reach my state of being goals. And so we've talked about this a little bit in previous videos. I'm not going to go too much into it, but it talks about we talk about the unconscious and neurological effects of failure and disappointment. So this is, like from the first video, we talked about, our subconscious needs to register positive results and successes, in order to stay motivated and pursuing a particular goal. And when we either fail at something, or even if we achieve this title, but we don't experience the state of being that we thought came with the title, then that registers as negative association with goal setting. And the caveat here is, despite the growth and awareness and the subconscious protection mechanisms have already been set in place if we've been living a type of lifestyle where we've been going for goals and titles versus states of being, so that when it comes to going after something that's really true to us and we're still experiencing resistance, your subconscious says this: if failure and disappointment is the result of going after the goals that aren't very close to my heart, it must be even more dangerous if I feel this with goals that are. I better not pursue those. So what does that manifest in? Procrastinations, excuses, succumbing to outside opinions, etc. So what do? It's like a catch-22. You know, the first thing that I would say is owning on that desired feeling inside of the pursuit, not just the goal itself. And beware of the evidence of that feeling that's happening in your everyday life, and acknowledge and celebrate you moving towards your goal. Like for me, financial freedom and the ability to travel and do certain things is huge. So if I have an extra unexpected $20 that shows up on any given day, I'm recording that as a success to myself, because I'm saying that's a manifestation of me building and growing through my subconscious programming to the point where I am receiving more of an abundance in the direction of things that, are important to me, and I'm attracting that because I've worked on that and I focused on that. And always find strength lessons and growth opportunities in failure and hardship. So, be aware of how you handle failure and hardships now versus how you used to handle it. If something used to make you blow your top 2 years ago, maybe, ready to fight or go off even, and now it's just mildly irritating, then celebrate yourself for that growth and look forward to the growth where you barely even notice it. Because when you step into your bigger shoes and your greater purpose, you're going to have higher level challenges. You're not going to have time and space to be dealing with, these minuscule things that are plaguing you right now. You just need to, at that point, you're going to need to let them just roll off your back like nothing. And so here are the tips, and here's the homework for you. Write all of your goals down and allow a half a page per goal. And for each of those goals, write down why you really want them. And keep asking yourself why you want them until you reach the answer that describes purely a state of being. And so if your answers are things like, I've always wanted, knew I wanted to, I want to support my family, I want to have, insert tangible thing, right? You're not there yet. What we're trying to get to the core of is that state of being. Because, for example, even if you want to support your family, there's something that supporting your family is giving to you. There's a way you want to feel knowing that your family is supported. So what is that? And I'm just going to tell you the truth right here. The end answer should be something that has directly to do with you. Because even if the things that you want are bigger than you, because you are the one that wants them, it starts with you. And until that's fulfilled, it's going to be very difficult to fully fulfill whatever it is that comes along with whatever you need to do to come along with achieving them. Now, if you get stuck and you're unable to narrow down the desired state of being that you want from this goal, you may want to start by assessing the goal in terms of where it actually came from. So whether it's true to you and for you, or if it came from somewhere else. For example, you always wanted to be a doctor and you're currently pursuing it, and you said that you wanted to do this because you want to help people. Well, is it because growing up being a doctor was one of the prestigious and respected professions and hallmark careers of helping people? Is that what you truly want from helping people? And is being a doctor the right path for you? Like, you can still help people and achieve that, but is helping people by being a doctor what's true for you and your core values? Now, warning, asking these questions can be particularly difficult for those of you who have invested time, money, maybe half your life, sacrificed family, relationships, and lifestyle for what you thought was your true goal, only to uncover now that it's not even for you. But even if it hurts, allow yourself to go there all the way. And just to close out, there was this awesome quote by Lisa Nichols because I always think about, what's happening subconsciously when willpower ceases to be enough. And she says that willpower is talking about, how do I make the choices that are aligned with my highest purpose and my highest vision for myself. So there's something for you to chew on, and I will see you guys next time.